Those who want to change the world, to fight injustices, are today in a very strange situation. On the one hand, there is enough energy for change. There is universal rage. People are protesting all around Europe, in United States, in third world countries. But there is a tragic dimension to this rage. It is as if one cannot transpose or translate this rage into concrete political project. What do we want? What to do? Here, Julian Assange, whom I am honored to consider my friend, found one of the solutions. You know, we all like to quote the old saying by Mahatma Gandhi, don't wait for another person to do the change. What has to be changed? Be yourself the change you want to be. Assange did exactly this. He showed us what we can do. So the situation is not one of blind despair. We can do it. You don't believe it. Look around the world, forget about him, and just think, remember how the fact of WikiLeaks and then all others who follow it, how it changed the entire situation. Even the big powers behave in a different way. They try, okay, to cover their tracks and so on. On the other hand, look at the field where today the fate of our economies is decided. All these secret agreements, they no longer dare to do them in their secret way, and so on and so on. So you see, that's why Julian is my model. He doesn't have a big project, change the world and so on. He picked out one precise field, the free circulation of information, especially the information which concerns our security, our economic fate, and so on and so on. And he just insists on the end on this. Again, just remember in what a different situation we are today. How things which simply nobody was thinking to do them years ago, now they're simply something that those in power have to take into account. And the field of WikiLeaks, where Julian is acting, is one of the central fields. On the one hand, the digital space offers new possibilities of people directly connecting, forming networks all around the world. At the same time, as we know, those in power try to control this. And as we know, sooner or later, for computers, it will be possible to know us literally better than we know ourselves. Imagine a computer following through Kindle what you read, how much, when did you read it, when did you stop reading, what books did you read. Remember your medical records, everything. They will know everything about you. Here we need public to intervene. And that's the big revolution, literally, that he did. But of course, we should never forget that concrete people made of flesh and blood pay for this revolution. And while we are all glad that he is not in prison, isn't it that in a way he is in a prison, just in a better prison? Now we are, if I may use this obscene word, celebrating the 4th anniversary of his de facto imprisonment in the embassy there. Cut off from normal social life, cut off from sunshine, and so on and so on. And what's the problem here, and what is our duty? The problem is that, you know, he is not just Julian Assange. He is also, in a good, noble, almost poetic sense, a creature of our imagination. In what sense I mean this? I mean, his fight goes on. He persists in this specific prison, which is still better than the real prison. He can be active. He is a hope to all of us. Only insofar as he is remembered. Only as long as we think about him from time to time, we awaken the public. Sorry, he's still there, and so on and so on. He functions insofar as we think about him. If we stop thinking about him, first in the spiritual sense of being part of our community, at the end, who knows, maybe even in literal sense, he is dead. So we should always remember this. What keeps him alive, working, is us thinking about him, having him in our mind. This is why I think it is absolutely crucial for all of us to remember, not only to remember, but to do something. These are small things. Tell around, talk with your friend, write a letter to your newspaper, mention him on Facebook, whatever, and so on and so on. His name has to continue to circulate. And even more, because there are, even now, when people talk about him, so many outright lies going around. Like again and again these days, I read the news that he is charged of rape. He's charged of nothing, not to mention all other news. Are we aware that it's not just a legal case? He's a victim of a well-orchestrated campaign by the strongest superpower in the world. It's again the old biblical story of David against Goliath. But we can make the difference. Our number is our strength. So, to conclude with, because Julian knows this, that I am always tempted to end in a slightly tasteless joke, you know. If I say now, hello, Julian, and please don't get too busy. Relax a little bit. Take a walk. Go around to fresh air. If I say this now, it's an obscenity. It's a cynicism. He cannot do this. So my wish to you, Julian, is that there will be time, and I'm sure there will be time, not too far ahead, not 20 years ahead, when, if I tell you, Julian, you look a little bit depressed, tired, why don't you take a walk in a nice park, go to a restaurant, when this will no longer be an obscene joke, but a desire that he will be able simply to fulfill, to do. So, remember this. Julian lives in us. And in this case, it's not some poetic bullshit. It's literally. He lives in us, through us. And he's fighting for us. So yes, you are all guilty if you don't do something. And Julian already did the risks for you. You are not really risking anything. I know that I will be going on and on and on, thinking about it, feeling guilty that I don't do alone, and so on and so on. It's not some abstract ethical point. It's simply literally in my blood. So again, my not only greetings, but deep admiration for Julian. He not only is one of the few authentic heroes of our time, he also has shown to all of us how to be a hero today, that it is possible to be a hero today.